Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyacha kripa sindhuevacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah. Samanta Vaishnav ki jai, Namacharya Das Thakur ji ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Good morning, dear devotees. This is Shivani from Ashram, Virginia. Please forgive me for stopping your beautiful chanting. I welcome you all to Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call for this mid-morning session. Let us move to the next part of our session. Today's topic is going to be on Madhurya Kadambini Session 5, which will be given by Her Grace Kirtida Sundari Mataji. May I know who will have joined this morning?
Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji. Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Dasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association. All glories to your services. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada. This is Preeti Vilasini Devitasi from Atlanta.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving a beautiful association. All glories to your services. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi and very nice, beautiful recitation, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving a beautiful association and your beautiful chanting every day. All glories to your services. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Anita Ramya from Srila.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving a beautiful association. All glories to your services. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranams. Glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtida Sundari dasi.
Hare Krishna, Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Varanga ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining, giving a beautiful association. All glories to your services. Looking forward to hearing from you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Once again, I welcome you all for this mid-morning session at Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call. I would like to start by sharing a quote by Srila Prabhupada ji. The sufferings are there, here or India, or hell, or even anywhere. Within this material world, there is suffering. But people are so foolish that simply having a nice motor car or a skyscraper building, he thinks my all problems are solved. He does not know that this life is a flash only. I am eternal. San Francisco, March 1st, 1967. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I think she dropped and rejoined.
Hare Yes. Good morning, dear devotees. I welcome you all to Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call for this mid-morning session. Today, we are very fortunate to have Her Grace, Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Mataji will be enlightening us on topic 5 of Madhurya Kadambini Session 5. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Thank you for giving your valuable time and wonderful association this morning. Looking forward to hearing from you, Mataji. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Guranga ki jai. I hand over the call to you. Please take over, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Shivani Mataji. Thank you so much for warmly welcoming everybody. Thank you each and every one of you for your very, very kind association. Thank you for always enthusing me by your wonderful presence. So we will start with our 5th session of Madhurya Kadambini. Krishna willing, today we will end the first shower of Madhurya Kadambini. Let's see how it goes. So let's offer our Mangalacharan prayers and then we'll move on. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bharevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदाले कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः आनंद लीलामय विग्रहाय हेमावदिव्य छवि सुंदराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रस प्रदाय चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य ईश्वरम् Hare Krishna. So we'll chant the Mangalacharan verse of Madhurya Kadambini. हृद्वप्रेणवभक्तिशस्य वितते सञ्जीवनी स्वगमा रम्भे कामतपर्तुदाहदमनी विश्वभगोलासिनी दूरन्मे मरुशाखिनोऽपि शरसि भावाय भूयात् प्रभो श्रीचैतन्यकृपानिरङ्कुशमहा माधुर्य कादम्बिनी. Hare Krishna. Thank you once again for your very, very kind association. Please bless me, offer prayers, blessings, wishes, so that I can speak something relevant to this subject matter. I really beg each and every one of you, please shower your blessings. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhu vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Ananta koti vaishnav vrinde ki jai. All the assembled Vaishnavas ki jai. So, up till now, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has established the position of bhakti, being self-manifested, supremely independent, not depending on any of the cause whatsoever. So we did the definition of bhakti, right? So in that definition of bhakti, Rupa Goswami mentions Anya Bhilashita Shunya Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam Bhakti Ruttama. So we have discussed this. But now Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wants to elaborate this verse itself about when it says Anya Bhilashita Shunyam. Yes, there should not be any Abhilasha. It should be zero. Jnana Karma Adi Anavritam. That this bhakti, this Uttama bhakti, is not covered by Jnana, Karma, Adi, all other process. That will be the topic of today's session. We are in the 5th verse, where Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wants to describe that in bhakti, in the absence of bhakti, practices like jnana, karma, and yoga, they are fruitless. So now Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad, he will be describing that the dependence of karma, jnana, and yoga. Because karma, jnana, adi, anavritam, right? That's the line. So he will be describing that the dependence of karma, jnana, yoga, adi, etc. We'll discuss those etc. also. They have on bhakti and the complete independence of bhakti. That karma and jnana and yoga, they are dependent on bhakti, not vice versa. Okay? Karma, jnana, yoga, adi will be dependent on bhakti.
But bhakti is supremely, completely independent. Right? So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto, 14th chapter, when Lord Balaram, when Lord Brahma, he came after that Brahma Vimohan Leela, he offered a lot of prayers to Krishna. There he said that the path of devotion is the only means of attaining all auspiciousness. People who give up this path of devotion and they practice any other, whether they practice karma, whether they practice jnana, or whether they practice yoga, anything that they practice, they undergo hard troubles. It's only by the means of practicing devotion to Lord Krishna that one can achieve all auspiciousness. If anybody is performing any kind of other activities, but it is devoid of bhakti, it is devoid of devotional service unto the Lord Krishna, Supreme Lord, then they will not attain perfection in their respective path. See, Karma Yogi, when he performs Karma Yoga, he has some destination, Bhukti Kami, he wants to enjoy. Jnana Yogi wants to achieve liberation, Mukti. Yogi also wants to see Paramatma in their heart. So they all, Samadhi that is, so they all have fixed perfection of their respective path. But Brahmaji is saying that, oh Lord, all these people, if they are devoid of bhakti, they will not achieve their perfection in their respective path. Rather, what they will get? They will get problems. They will get troubles in their path. An example is given that just like beating an empty husk of rice. When you beat an empty husk of rice, you don't get rice because the husk is empty. So they will gain only trouble. They will not gain the perfection of their respective path. So this is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur will be describing. That if bhakti is not there, then whatever path we do, whether it's jnana, karma, or yoga, they are fruitless. Now in this regard, he will go step by step. And along with him, we will also go step by step. First, we'll talk about Jnanis, then we'll talk about Karmis, and then we'll talk about Yogis. So Jnanis, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that there are 4 types of practitioners of Jnana or Brahma Jnana. What are the 4 types? First type is that some practice only Jnana with the idea that only Jnana can give them liberation without the help of Bhakti. This kind of Jnana, those Jnanis, those who think that they will achieve liberation because the perfection of the path of Jnana Yogis is to achieve liberation, moksha, mukti. So they think that they will attain this result of liberation without the help of bhakti. But the result is that they undergo very hard troubles in their life as a result of their practicing of jnana. And they are known as ati nindita. They are highly condemned jnanis because they want to perform the practice of jnana, but without the help of bhakti. The second type is that another category of jnanis are those who practice jnana along with some parts of devotion. They are known as bhakta mishra jnana. Jnana mishra bhakti, actually it should be. So they practice jnana, they are jnanis, they practice jnana yoga, but they have some parts of devotion. Here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he quotes this verse. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. When the demigods were offering prayers to the womb of Mother Devaki, the Garbhastuti prayers. In that it comes, ye anya ravindaksha vimukta maninas tvai ashtabhavat avishuddha buddhaya aruya krichena param padam tatah patyanti yadhavandatra yushmarangraha. So this verse he is saying that these are some type of jnanis that they practice jnana, but they have a tinge of devotion. But what is that devotion? That devotion is that they they practice some part of devotion, and they consider devotion to be the ladder to attain Brahma Jyoti or liberation, right? So they consider bhakti to be the ladder. Therefore, they have tinge of devotion. And what he is saying, ye anya ravindaksha vimukta maninas, they think that they have liberated, but they condemn the worship of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Okay, they don't consider the Supreme Lord to be a person. They have some kind of bhakti, means they consider bhakti to be the ladder. That's the only thing. But they don't have the conception of the personalized form of the Supreme Lord. And while practicing this thing, they undergo a lot of troubles. Aruya krichena. They go lot of troubles. But parampadam, they achieve the parampadam. But actually not achieve, but vimukta maninas. They think that they have achieved that parampadam. Okay, they have yet not achieved, but they think that they have achieved. And these jnanis then tatanti padam tata patyanti ado. They fall down. Anditra yushmadangra. Why? Because they have anadrita yushmadangra. Because they have condemned the worship of your lotus feet, because they have they don't have respect to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, because they don't consider the Supreme Absolute Truth to be a person. So they fall down from their path. Now this is very important to understand that they have yet not achieved the perfection. They are still on the path. They have not yet reached the perfection. So from the path itself, they fall down. Sometimes it has been considered this verse that they have achieved perfection of Brahma Jyoti and from there they fall down. No. The result of their practice of Jnana Mishra Bhakti is that they fall down from the path itself. Okay, because they have disrespect, they have another towards the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So they are known as Nindita Jnanis. The first category was Anindita, but this category is Nindita Jnanis. Right? They think that they have attained the Jivan Mukta stage. It's maninas. They're only thinking that way, but they have yet not achieved, and they fall down from the path itself. Okay. Third comes the third type of jnanis. They practice jnana along with bhakti, and they realize the form of the Lord as sacid-ananda. Okay. Now, this is the third type of jnanis. They practice jnana. They also follow bhakti. But unlike the second type of jnanis, who do not consider the Supreme Lord to be the personal form, but these type of jnanis, they know that the Supreme Lord is a person. So they are praiseworthy. And they attain the perfect knowledge of the Supreme Lord. And because of which, they are completely free from the effect of the material existence. And then what do they achieve? They achieve Brahma Sayujya. That means they merge into the impersonal form of Lord, that is Brahma Jyoti. And when they reach there, then there is no fall down. Okay? because that Brahma Jyoti is also the part of the spiritual world. Then there is no fall down from there. Because they are practicing jnana along with bhakti, understanding that the absolute truth is actually the Lord who is sacid-ananda. They understand the personal feature of the Supreme Lord, but because they are jnani and they want to achieve that Brahma Jyoti, they achieve. But with what? With bhakti. So bhakti is needed, even for the jnanis to achieve their respective path, to achieve the perfection of their respective path. So they go to Brahma Jyoti, they attain Brahma Sayujya, they are very praiseworthy, they don't fall down. The fourth category, which is the most fortunate category of jnanis, is the fourth category of jnanis. They are most fortunate because while practicing jnana, they get the association of Maha Bhagavat, devotees of the Lord, by his causeless mercy and independent will, and give up the desire of liberation. So these are the four types of jnanis that when they practice jnana yoga, they get the association of Mahabhagavat, devotee of the Supreme Lord. And the example is given. The example is given of Sukadeva Goswami. The example is given of the four Kumaras. So these are the fourth type of jnanis, that they are in the process of jnana yoga, but they get the association of Mahabhagavat, devotee of the Supreme Lord, and thus they relish the sweet rasa of bhakti because of those Mahabhagavat devotees. So this is about jnanis. So the idea is that when jnanis, they perform their process, they want to achieve the perfection of their process, they cannot achieve without bhakti. And when they are in contact with Mahabhagavat devotee, they even give up the result of their path, because their path, perfection of their path is to get liberation. They even give up that liberation also, because now they are in contact with Mahabhagavat devotee of the Lord. Example is Sukadeva Goswami or the four Kumaras. Now comes the karmis. Karmis reliance on bhakti. So karmis also depend on bhakti. Okay. In this regard, there is a very beautiful verse by Narad Muni to Vyasadeva. So Narad Muni, when he went to Vyasadeva, he quoted this verse and he says, Tyaktva swadharmam charanam bhujam harer bhajana pakvo tatha pathe tato yadi yatra kwa avabhadram amud amushyakim kovartha apto bhajatam swadharmata. What does it mean? That he says that if someone gives up the activities of his varnashrama dharma, okay, and engage himself into the devotion of the Lord's lotus feet, okay, one who has forsaken his material occupation. Material occupation means his prescribed duties of his varnashram. In varnashrama, we have a certain prescribed duties. But if that person has given, tattva, has given up those material occupations for what? Charanam bhujam harer, to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Bhajana apakvo, unka jo bhajan hai, because the performance of their bhakti is apakva, is not fully mature, they sometimes fall down while in an immature stage. Yet Narad Muni says that there is no danger. There is no danger of being unsuccessful. Salpam api dharmasya traite mahato bhayat. Even a small amount of steps taken on the path of bhakti will yield a lot of results and will not be wasted. So here also he's saying that they may fall down because their bhajan has not become fully mature. They will fall down. yet there is no danger of them being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, he may be fully engaged in his prescribed duties and his occupational duties, but because he is not doing anything related to the Supreme Lord, service towards the Supreme Lord, he does not gain anything. So even the karmis, if they are bhukti kamis, they also have to depend upon bhakti. They have to do bhakti. Otherwise, it is shrama eva hi kevalam. It will not yield any results. Chaitanya Charitamrita also quotes this. Chari varnashrami jadi Krishna nahi bhaje swakarma korito sera rava padi maje. Chari varnashram means those who are in this 4 varna ashrama. So what are those varna ashramas? Varnas are like the 4 spiritual orders, like we have brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. And ashram are the 4 social orders, like brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, and shudra. Sorry, I said wrong. Actually, varnas are like brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, and shudra, and ashrams are like brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. So the followers of the Varnashrama institution, they accept the regulative principles of these 4 social orders and 4 spiritual orders. Chari Varnashrami yadi Krishna nahi bhaja. But while doing their prescribed duties in this Varna ashrama, if they are not worshipping Lord Krishna, swakarme korite, then whatever karma they are doing it, they will fall down. Say rorave padi maje. They will fall down into the hellish condition of material life. So yes, we should do our prescribed duties. We should do our swadharma, but keep Krishna always in the center of our prescribed duties. Doing prescribed duties is important. Krishna has told this even to Arjuna in Bhakti, in Bhagavad Gita, that do your prescribed duties, but offer the results of those prescribed duties to me. Keep me in the center. Do it for me. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. Just not do your prescribed duties, but do your prescribed duties, keeping Krishna in the center. Because if we are doing our prescribed duties and neglecting Krishna, then swakarma korite se rorava padimache. He falls down into the hellish condition of material life. So materialistic people have this idea that karma hi puja hai. I am doing my karma. Yes, you are doing your karma as per your varnashrama you belong to. Very good. But do it for Krishna. Do it for the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, your doing the perfect prescribed duty will not gain anything. A non-devotee fully engaged in occupational duties does not gain anything because they are devoid of bhakti. So we see that how karmis, like Jnanis, karmis are also dependent upon bhakti if they want to achieve perfection in their path. Now comes the yogis. In yogis, also Brahma, while glorifying Krishna, after Brahma Vimohan Leela, he says, Pureha bhuman bhavopi yoginas tvad arpiteha nija karma labdhya vibuddhya bhakteva kathopnite pradippirit najok achyuta te gatim param. Pureha bhuman, on this earth, in the past, there are so many yogis in this world who have achieved platform of devotional service, tvad arpiteha nija karma labdhya, because they have offered the endeavors unto you. And while offering the endeavors to you, they are faithfully carrying out their prescribed duties. Through such devotional service, perfected by the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam, hearing and chanting about you, Kathop Nitya, Pradpedire, because they have surrendered unto you, right? So Achyuta te gatim param. They have achieved even your supreme abode. So just see, even for the yogis, they also achieve the Supreme Lord's abode, provided that they also, while doing their path of perfection, they do some kind of devotional service by offering all their endeavors unto the Supreme Lord. So here we see, okay, that how karmis, jnanis, yogis, they cannot avoid bhakti at any cost.
Mataji, can you just move to the previous slide for 1 second? Thank you, Mataji. Just one.
Yeah. So here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur now is establishing the point that the karmis, the jnanis, the yogis, they cannot avoid the help of bhakti to attain perfection in their path. On the other hand, bhakti is not dependent on any of these three for its result. So therefore, when Rupa Goswami says Jnana, Karma, Adi, Anavritam, that bhakti is not covered by Jnana and Karma, rather Jnana, Karma are dependent upon bhakti, only then the desired results can be achieved. Okay, so this has to be very clear that Jnana and Karma are not dependent, are dependent on bhakti, whereas bhakti is self-dependent. Bhakti is independent. Bhakti doesn't depend upon Jnana, Karma, whereas Jnanis and Karmis and Yogis, they depend upon Bhakti. Bhakti is beyond the three modes of material nature. She is beyond Maya and is completely independent. Okay. Now, the next what our Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says is, bhakti is not dependent on any other process. So jnana, karma, adi. Now we'll talk about adi. That bhakti is not dependent on any other process also. So complete independence of bhakti has been established. Tasmad mad, this is from Uddhava Gita, where Krishna is telling to Uddhav, Tasmad mad bhakti yuktasya yogino vai mad atmanaha na jnanam na cha vairagyam prahashrayo bhavet iha. That people, persons, devotees who wholeheartedly engage in the devotional service, they generally do not appreciate the practice of jnana and vairagya. So devotees don't desire jnana and vairagya. Why? Because when they practice bhakti, this jnana and vairagya automatically comes. So when the word says adi, here we are talking about yogis and vairagis, means those who practice vairagya. So Krishna is telling to Uddhav that you don't have to practice vairagya separately. The detachment will automatically comes when person performed bhakti. To substantiate this point, it has been mentioned by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur from Srimad Bhagavatam itself, where he says, Vasudeva Bhagavata Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatsu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Tad Ahitukam. Ashu, Janayati Ashu. Ashu means very quickly. So Vasudeva Bhagavate, by rendering devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, one immediately acquires, very quickly, one acquires the causeless knowledge and detachment. Jnana bhi mil jata hai and detachment. So Jnana and Vairagya follows Bhakti. They are not, Bhakti is not dependent on Jnana Vairagya. It's completely independent. Rather, those who run after this knowledge and detachment, they don't need to. They can practice bhakti and this knowledge and vairagya will follow. Okay. So bhakti does not take the help of karma and jnana, right, for its fruits, but it is vice versa. Bhakti does not take the help. That is also been explained by Uddhava Gita. Yat karma bir yat tapasa. Yat karma bir yat tapasa jnana vairagyasyat yogena dana dharmena shreyo bhir itarerapi sarvam mad bhakti yogena mad bhakto labate jasa swarga pavargam madhama kathanchid yadi vanchati. Bhakti does not take the help of anything. Through bhakti yoga, my bhakta effortlessly attain all these adi. What is that? The practices of pious action, that is karma, austerity, tapasya, knowledge, jnana, renunciation, vairagya, mystic perfection, yoga, dana dharmena, that is religious charity, tirtha yatra, pilgrimage to holy places, or vrata, the saintly vows. Although my bhaktas do not desire anything apart from serving me, still all these things, under special circumstances, if they so desire, they can easily attain heaven, swarga, liberation. Apavarga means going beyond this 14 planetary systems, and madhama, and they can even achieve my abode. On the other hand, karma, tapasya, jnana, etc., they all are fruitless without bhakti. Kathanchid yadi vanchati, if they desire this swarga, parva, madhama, they will achieve, because all these things will follow one who effortlessly practice bhakti yoga. Those who practice bhakti yoga, all these things like karma, tapasya, jnana, vairagya, it will automatically come. The point is that one has to practice bhakti. So bhakti does not take the help of karma and jnana for giving its fruit. Rather, by its slightest touch, even if somebody has done a tinge of bhakti, it will give perfection in the path of karma, jnana, and yoga. Okay. Without bhakti, karma or austerities, jnana, tapa, they are totally useless. Now comes another point. That is, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, the futility of any practice devoid of bhakti. So we do any practice, it is useless if it is devoid of bhakti. And in this regard, he quotes actually, he says that if a person without devotion, okay, person doesn't have any devotion, but takes a birth in a high caste family, or chants mantras, undergo different austerities, but they are just like the decoration of a dead body on the to the common people. What he says, Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya, Aprashneva Dehasya, Apraneshya Dehasya, Mandanam Lokaranjanam. This is from Haribhakti Shubhodaya. If a person without devotion to the Lord takes birth in a high caste family, studies the Vedas, chants the mantras, and undergo austerities, then all these things simply are the decoration of a dead body to please the common people. Right? So it is useless to decorate a dead body. What is the use of decorating the dead body? There is no use. The soul is already out. Similarly, here it has been mentioned that the high caste or the japa or the austerities or even the scriptural knowledge, if a person has, but he is not a devotee, he is not doing it for the Supreme Lord, then all these things are simply for Mandanam Loka Ranjanam. It is only to give pleasure to the common people. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada warned us that not to attend those Bhagavat Saptaha in which the person speaks about Bhagavatam but doesn't follow his talk, doesn't walk his talk, and does it for some ulterior motive. He doesn't do it to bring bhakti or to sow a seed of bhakti in the heart of others. Rather, they do it to earn their own livelihood. So yes, they are very well versed in Bhagavatam. They have to be, because if they are giving that Bhagavat Saptaha, they have to be very well versed in Bhagavatam. In and out, they should know the verses of Bhagavatam. And they should be very austere also. They should chant certain mantras also. Yes, they are doing all these things. But because there is no devotion, all these things are just to please common people, to attract common people. They are just the decoration on the dead body. It's a very important thing to understand. So therefore, whatever we do, even we are not, you can say, is perfect in our activities. Still, even if we are doing it imperfectly, still we should do it for samsiddhir haritoshanam. We should do it for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord Hari. So if a person without devotion to the Lord takes birth in a high caste family, study the Vedas, chants mantras, and undergo austerities, then all these are simply the decoration of a dead body to please common people. So here till now, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has established that bhakti, without bhakti, any process is fruitless. Okay. Now he is describing the glories of bhakti. That in the performance of bhakti, considerations such as purity of time and place are not required. Okay. We all know this verse where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that there is no niyam, there is nothing to follow when we are doing the process of bhakti or chanting the Supreme Lord's holy name. So in this regard, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is also quoting from Hari Bhakti Vilas, Na desha niyamas tasmin, na kala niyamas tatha, noschithado nishedhosti, Shri Harir namni lubdhaka. That, O greedy one, lubdhaka means, O greedy one, the holy name of Lord Hari has such an indescribable glory that there are no restrictions in time, place, or purity. It is not forbidden to perform in an impure state also. So when we are even answering the nature call, we can still call out Krishna's name, and that is bhakti. Okay. Khaite shuite jata tatha namle desh kal niyam nahi sarva siddhi ho. This is a very common verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that regardless of time or place, one who chants the holy name, even while eating or sleeping, attains all perfection. So we saw two things, that how karma, jnana, yoga, and all other practices, if we follow, but if it is without devotion to the Supreme Lord, then it is fruitless. It will not attain the results. On the other hand, if we perform bhakti to the Supreme Lord, then also it will read full results, even though that bhakti is not performed 100% as per the rules and regulations mentioned. Because bhakti is not dependent on any time, place, individual, substance, ritual, purity, impurity. No, it is beyond. Bhakti is not dependent on this. It is beyond all this. Whether you chant the name of Krishna with faith or without faith, it will give results. It will deliver any human being on a single utterance. Right? We know this. This is not something arthavad. It is not something arthavad which is mentioned in the scriptures. It is true. It is true that anyone who chants Krishna's name even once, even without faith, the result will be tremendous. Tremendous results will be given. Only on a single utterance of that. So there are no rules and prohibitions. Whereas if somebody is performing Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, there are rules. A slightest fault in their performance makes the result very harmful. This is the next that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur will be describing. That in Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, errors in the utterance of mantras give rise to immense obstacles. Whereas in the case of bhakti, there are no rules and regulations whatsoever. So now, to substantiate this point, that in Karma Yoga, errors in the utterance of the mantras gives rise to immense obstacles. How is it possible? So to substantiate this point, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he describes the instance in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And we all know, but still, for my purification, I would like to say this pastime, but we all know this pastime of Tvashta Rishi. Okay, so once what happened, that Brahaspati, he got really upset seeing the false ego of Indra. So he disappeared for some time from Swargaloka to teach lesson to Indra. But this news went to the demigods. This news went to the demons. And the demon spiritual master is Shukracharya. So the demons, with the help of Shukracharya, conquered the demigods. Because the demigods were weak, because Brahaspati was not there, Guru was not present. So the demigods, what happened when they lost, they finally took shelter of Lord Brahma. And Brahma suggested that they should accept Vishwarup, who is the son of Tvashta Rishi, as their spiritual master for some time, the time when Brahaspati is out. So Vishwarup was accepted as the spiritual master by Indra, and he gave Narayan Kavach to Indra. Okay, so with that help of Narayan Kavach, Indra was able to conquer the demons. So this is all mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now Vishwarupa was the son of Tvashta Rishi, but Vishwarup was also the grandson of the demons. So very secretly, what he used to do, that he used to give the fruits of sacrifice that he will use to perform for Indra, even to the demons. So he will play both sides. He will perform sacrifice for Indra, but some fruits he will also give it to the demons. Very secretly he will give. Once Indra observed this, and he became blinded with anger to an extent that he killed Vishwarup. Now, when Vishwarup was killed, this Tvashta Rishi, who was the father of Vishwarup, he became supremely angry on Indra. So what he did, he performed a sacrifice. He offered oblations to the sacrifice, and he wants to perform this sacrifice to kill Indra. Okay, he made the sacrifice for killing Indra, because Indra has killed Vishwarup. So he performed the sacrifice to kill Indra. And while offering oblations to the sacrifice, he committed a mistake. Bhagavatam has given in detail, but I will tell you in a very short form that what mistake he did. Okay. So when he was chanting the mantra was Indra Shatro Vivardhaswa, means that may the enemy of Indra increases. That means the enemy of Indra, when increases, naturally Indra will be in trouble. Indra will be killed. So that was his desire to perform this sacrifice, because he wanted Indra to be killed. because Indra killed his son, Vishwarup. So the mantra was Indra Shatru Vivardhasva. Now, when we chant certain mantras, especially if you have seen Purusha Shukta chanting, there is a tone of voice. There is a tone in which you have to pronounce that mantra. Okay, so these are the three types of tones. One is Udat, that is in a very deep voice. One is Anudat, that means in a very low. And one is Swarat, that is in the medium. So Udat means that on the upper hand, on the higher volume you have to sing, deep tone. Anudatta is a grave tone and Swarita is the medium tone. So the child which will kill Indra, if he has to take birth, because he was performing the sacrifice in which a personality should appear from the sacrifice that will kill Indra. Okay, so he needs to chant Indra in a low and Shatra in the Udata. Like he needs to chant Indra Shatra Vivardhasva, means a personality should appear from the sacrificial arena that should kill Indra. That should be an enemy of Indra. Okay. But while performing the sacrifice, because he was blinded with anger, what he said, he accidentally uttered Indra in a deep tone and Shatra in an Anudata tone. So rather chanting Indra Shatro Vivardhasva, he chanted Indra Shatro Vivardhasva. He chanted Indra on a higher tone. So just by doing this small mistake, it changed the meaning of that entire mantra. And now the mantra means that may there be a child born from this sacrificial arena whom Indra should kill. Not the child who can kill Indra, but a child whom Indra will kill. And thus we see how Vritrasur was born. He appeared from that sacrificial arena. And we saw that how he was killed by Indra. So a slight mistake, not instead the changing the syllable or a word, but just in the tone of chanting the mantra, gave complete opposite results to Twashta Rishi. Okay? Opposite results. This is what happened when we follow this process of Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga, but we don't have bhakti in it. Slightest tone, change in the tone, change the entire meaning of that mantra. Whereas in bhakti, it is not possible. Bhakti sees no qualification. There is Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi Khanda. We have already gone through this. It says, Murkho vadati vishnaya, dhiro vadati vishnave, ubhayastu samam punyam, bhavagrahi janardana. Those who are murkha, those who are unintelligent, those who are foolish, they chant Vishnaya Namaha. This is an improper grammar. There is a fault of grammar. Whereas the learned person, they chant Vishnave Namaha, Dhiro Vadati Vishnave. Ubhayastu Samam Punyam. Both of them will have the equal effect. Both of them. Why? Because Bhavagrahi Janardana. Because our Lord Janardana sees only the sentiment of the living entity. He sees the degree of devotion, and therefore he awards the result accordingly. He does not see whether a person has chanted Vishnave or Vishnaya. Okay. So example is being given, just like a child, right? Just like a child speaks with his father in a broken language. Okay? Still the affectionate father relishes it so much. Then the correct language that is spoken by some other person. Okay. If the father has two children, one is small, younger child, one is elder child. Elder child may speak very fluently, but the younger child may speak some tuta puta or some, broken language he'll be speaking. But the love for the father, for that small younger child, will be so much, because that he relishes it much. So therefore, even while chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, there are questions that is being asked, that whether it is Krishna, whether it is Krishna, whether it is Ram, whether it is Rama. Hey, come on, we are doing bhakti. Okay, so no matter how we chant, Krishna knows that we are calling out to him. So therefore, this bhakti doesn't see any qualification. The fruit of the sacrifice did not accept these feelings of Twashta Rishi, that he is getting animosity towards Indra. He wanted to kill Indra. The sacrifice didn't see the feelings of Twashta Rishi. And one flaw in pronunciation gave the opposite result. Whereas in the case of bhakti, forget about one flaw, even if thousands of flaws are made, but it is for the Supreme Lord, it will yield tremendous results, positive results. Okay. So this is how Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur establishes that bhakti sees no qualifications whatsoever. Now, in the next, this is the 5th verse only going on, but has different parts to it. He says the eradication of lust, the disease of the heart through bhakti. So karmis, he mentioned that how karmis, when they perform their sacrifice, a slightest flaw in the process will give the opposite results. Now the Jnanis also want to achieve liberation, moksha. They cannot achieve until and unless their heart is purified with all the anarthas, especially the lust. So till the time they are not flawless, till the time they are not crystal clear, they cannot achieve the perfection of their desired result. Okay, they cannot achieve. So for a Jnani, they have to be very, very thorough in their process, very, very thorough in their process. Not a tinge of lust should be there in the heart of Jnani. Whereas through bhakti, it is mentioned, Sukhdev Goswami, he mentions in Srimad Bhagavatam, that even if there is some kind of lusty desires in the heart, but if faithfully someone hears or narrates the loving pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna with the ladies of Raja Gopis, of Raja, they will attain the topmost devotion of the Lord, will swiftly become grave, and will give up their heart's disease of lust. So for Jnanis, it is required, first make your heart purified, then you will achieve perfection. Whereas the bhakti, it says that you perform bhakti first, and then slowly and slowly all the anarthas will be eradicated. So can you see the contrast? When we are doing other process, we have to be perfect in our process. If we are performing sacrifice, every mantra should be perfectly pronounced in a right tone, right? Only then you will achieve the desired result. Otherwise, opposite. In Jnana Yoga also, when Jnanis they perform, their heart should be crystal clear. They should be devoid of all the material things, and that's how they can transcend from this material world. So first they have to purify, only then they can achieve the result. But bhakti is just the opposite. You perform certain activities for the Supreme Lord, and you will get rid of all the diseases in the heart, especially the lust. Just as here, Sukhdev Goswami says that even if we have lust, but still, if we sing those Rasa Panchadhyaya, those 5 chapters of Bhakti Rasa, if we chant, slowly that heart disease of lust will be eradicated from the heart of a devotee. Okay. So this is again very important point. Now next Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, forget about lust. Shastras does not criticize a depraved person in his performance of bhakti. Even if somebody is doing the wrong thing, then also the Shastras will not deprive him of the process of bhakti. The example is given of Ajamil. In the 6th canto, we all know the pastime of Ajamil. That Ajamil, when he chanted, he was not chanting. Okay, first let's think about this. That Shastras does not criticize even a depraved person in his performance of bhakti. And in this regard, he quotes, Apisechu Juracharo Bhajate Mam Ananya Bhav. This Ananya Bhakti is being mentioned. Sadhureva Samantavya Samyag Vishto Hi Saha. That even if, forget about clearing your heart, forget about clearing about your anarthas, even if someone commits this abominable action, but if he is engaged in Ananya Bhakti, he is to be considered saintly and he is properly situated in his determination. Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shanti nigachati kauntaya pratijani name bhakta pranishyati. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, therefore Krishna says, declare it boldly that my devotee will never perish. So even a sinful person can perform bhakti. Now this verse doesn't give us the adhikar of doing wrong things while practicing bhakti. Okay, because Krishna says that if one commits the most abominable sinful action, still he will be considered sadhu, should not be taken a point of performing abominable activities while performing bhakti. Because if we are committing sinful actions on the strength of chanting the holy name, that becomes namaparad. Okay, that becomes namaparad. So this has to be very, very clear. People mistake this verse that, okay, because Krishna has already said, I have done some sinful activities, let me chant Mahamantra. Mahamantra will eradicate my sinful reactions. Yes, once for all. But if we keep repeating it and we do all these things on the strength of chanting the holy name, then all our sinful actions or reactions will be converted into offense and it will become namaprad. And then there is no eradication. Then there is no way out. So we have to be very clear that Krishna says, while doing bhajan, if somehow, mantavya means somehow or other, if somebody performs this abominable action, still he should be considered saintly. And therefore Krishna says, Shipram bhavati dharma, shashvat shantim nigachati. Kaunteya pratijani, you declare, Arjun, that my devotee will never perish. Okay. Now comes another point that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur establishes is that Ajamil, he quotes the case of Ajamil, that even Ajamil is accepted as a bhakta, even though he chanted a mere semblance of the holy name. So Ajamil, when he was chanting, he didn't chant the word Narayan to call out the Supreme Lord. He chanted Narayan so that he was in a mood, he was calling out his son. But here, the glorification is not of Ajamil, but the glorification is of the word Narayan. That the Supreme Lord's name is so potent that even though it's just a semblance of the holy name, it's not the holy name because he was not chanting the holy name. He was calling out to his son. So even though there is a shadow, there is abhas, still Krishna accepts. Chaitanya Charitamrita also describes that how a Malecha, he chants haram, haram, haram. It's an abominable word. But Krishna accepts it as Hey Ram, Hey Ram, Hey Ram. So he gives the results to it. So this is how the contrast is being made, that bhakti doesn't consider any such flaw. No, anybody, anywhere, at any time, at any place, at any circumstance, one can perform bhakti. Okay. Now we come to the next point, where Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur establishes the superiority of bhakti over moksha. Okay. That moksha means liberation or mukti. The devotees don't even consider moksha. They don't want moksha because they are involved or engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. So they are always in bhakti, so therefore they reject moksha also. In this regard, it is being mentioned that how bhakti is greater than liberation. Krishna jadi chute bhakte bhukti mukti diya kabho bhakti na dena rakhe na lokiya. As long as there is a hankering, a tinge, an iota of hankering for enjoyment or liberation is there in the heart, those who are performing bhajan, Krishna will not give them prema bhakti. Rather, he conceals it from them because their heart is still wanting liberation. So bhakti, the ananya bhakti, the pure bhakti, the uttama bhakti will not be given to them. Whereas it also says, Anya kami jadi kare Krishnera bhajana namagilya Krishna tare dena swacharana. If those who long for something other than bhakti, they perform bhajan of Krishna, Shri Krishna grants them service to his divinely graceful feet, even without asking for it. Now, this is no contrast. Okay, we have to understand these two verses. If there is a hankering for enjoyment or liberation in the heart, Krishna will not give them prema bhakti because they are longing for something. Okay, he will keep this as gupta. He will keep it as a confidential thing. He will conceal it and he will not give. Whereas those who long for something other than bhakti, they perform bhajan for Krishna. Krishna grants them service. He gives them prema bhakti, even though they don't want it. Then also Krishna will give. So bhakti is always greater than liberation. Okay. This point that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he wants to bring this. He wants to set up that how Nama Sankirtan, when performed, it will please the Supreme Lord. Okay. So let's see how many verses have been done. Let me just go through my thing. Okay. So we will go with the last verse of today's slides, that is through Padyavali. And in Padyavali, this is a very beautiful verse that is mentioned that establishes that how the devotee who is involved in Ananya Bhakti for Lord Shri Krishna rejects mukti, rejects even moksha. He doesn't want moksha. So that establishes the superiority of bhakti over mukti. Katvam muktir upagatasmi bhavati kasmad akashmat iha Shri Krishna smaranena deva bhavato dasi padam prapita dure tishta manak anaksi katham kuryat anaryamai twadgandham nijanama chandana rasale pasya lupo bhavet. So Katvam, so this is actually, this verse is a conversation between Mukti Devi and a devotee, between Mukti Devi and a Bhaktan. So devotee is saying, who are you? Katvam, who are you? Because there was a knock on the door. Somebody came, devotee asked, who are you? Mukti says, I am Mukti. I am at your service. I have come to serve you. Kasmada kasmadiha. Devotee says, why you have suddenly appeared? Nobody asked for you to appear. Why have you suddenly come here? Mukti says, O Divine One, by the influence of you, Shri Krishna Smaranena, because you were remembering Krishna, that Bhagavan has assigned me as your dasi. Therefore, please engage me into your service. I am being assigned as your dasi. I am mukti and I am assigned as your dasi. So please accept me in your service. Duratishta, devotee says, stay away, stay far away from me. I am offenseless. For no reason you will make me lose my service to Bhagavan. Because if we accept that gain, that gift that Krishna has sent because of our non-stop remembrance of Krishna's name, if we accept it, the deal is done. Krishna has given, we accept and done. The deal is done. But he says, no, I don't want to lose my service to Bhagavan. Why are you attacking me with your axe? Just your smell destroys the fragrant chandan of my good name as Bhagavan's servant. I am Das. And that will destroy by your fragrance, that your smell is that, just your smell is destroying that chandan of me being Bhagavan's servant and my qualification for seva. What more need I say? I am chanting the auspicious, sweet names of my worshipable Lord Shri Krishna. The joy of that chanting will also be reduced to dust if I accept you. Therefore, you please go far away from me. Duritishta. You just go far away from me and don't come closer to me. This establishes the point that even bhakti, even mukti is rejected by the devotees, and how bhakti supersedes even the desire of mukti if somebody has it. So with that, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has explained the entire meaning of that Uttama Bhakti, where he says, Anya Bilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmana Avritam Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Uttama. That is the definition he has explained in detail. And also he has established the preeminence of Bhakti, which is the title of this chapter, that how Bhakti is self-dependent, Bhakti is self-manifesting, and Bhakti doesn't depend on any other cause. It's already 12:12, but I'll take 10 more minutes and I'll finish this shower. This first shower, I want to finish it today. So after hearing all this, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur then quotes a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, where Sukdev Goswami says to Parikshit Maharaj that how the Supreme Lord, he helped the Pandavas. He was born in Yadu dynasty, but he maintained the Pandavas. He became the worshipable deity of Pandavas. He became the messenger for the Pandavas. He became affectionate friend for the family. He became the master of that family. And he went to an extent where he was simply controlled by Arjuna by being Parthasarathi. So somehow Parikshit Maharaj was feeling, there was a feeling in his heart that how unfortunate is this Kuru dynasty in which Krishna didn't appear, and how fortunate is the Yadu dynasty because Krishna appeared in that Yadu dynasty. So this way he was feeling, he was having in his heart that how unfortunate is this Kuru dynasty. To that, Sukadev Goswami understood the heart, and he said that don't think in that way. Actually, yes, Krishna appeared in Yadu dynasty for sure, but Bhakti appeared in Kuru dynasty. And because of that, Krishna became subservient to the entire family of Pandavas. Because the Bhakti appeared there, so Krishna becomes subservient to one who practices Bhakti. He becomes subservient to it. Therefore, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Bhakti is the cause of Bhakti. Okay? Bhaktya sanjayate bhakta. It's only through Bhakti that Bhakti will come. Bhakti is independent. It is self-manifesting. Nobody can control Bhakti whatsoever. She is great. She is energy of the Supreme Lord. She has the all-pervading nature just as the Supreme Lord. And anybody can perform this Bhakti at any time, place, or circumstances. It doesn't depend on anything. Even Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says from Chaitanya Charitamrita that how Bhakti is an ocean of infinite qualities. When Mahaprabhu at Dashamedh Ghat was giving this instructions to Srila Rupa Goswami on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he says, Para para shunya gabhira rasa sindhu, tomaya chakhaite tara koha eka bindu. That this Bhakti is like a rasa amrita sindhu. It's like an ocean. Okay, it's so deep that no one can estimate its length, its breadth, its depth. Nobody can estimate. It doesn't have any shores. This bhakti is so vast. But Mahaprabhu is saying that, oh Rupa, I'm taking your finger, dipping it in that ocean and letting you taste one drop of that ocean. Okay? Tomai chakhaite tara koha eka bindu. What in 10 days I am explaining you the bhakti process is just one drop of that entire ocean. And imagine that one drop became again Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that inundated the entire world in the writings of Srila Rupa Goswami. That one drop, just one drop made that entire Sindhu, which Rupa Goswami wrote and inundated everybody, drowned everybody in that Bhakti Rasa. So, those who are averse to Hari Bhajan, who are deeply attached to sense gratification, while giving up the nectar of Hari Bhajan, they are like Dvipad Pashu. They are like Maha Pashu. They are giving up the mango leaves of bhakti and simply chewing the thorns of this material desires, just like camel do. When camel is hungry and camel he eats the thorns that are there on the twigs and he chews, his own blood comes out. Okay, he gets bleeded inside, but he thinks, wow, these thorns are so tasty. But internally, he's tasting his own blood. Similarly, Chakravarti Pad is saying that if we are performing any such activity and we are not involving Hari in it, and we are rejecting Hari's position, then it is just like giving up the mango leaves of bhakti and chewing the thorns of these material desires. So we are like camels. We think that there is a happiness here. We think that there is so much greatness in this world, but actually it's nothing. It's nothing as compared to the happiness one can get by serving the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. So therefore he says that such people who think that this material world is giving some kind of happiness and they are involved in this eating, mating, sleeping and defending, they are like Dvipad Pashu, two-legged animals. After getting this human form of life, which is the rarest of rarest, coming in contact with the pure devotee, still not practicing, is जानबूझ के विष खा लिया, is eating like poison, knowingly eating poison. That is what he is mentioning. So therefore he says that please don't give up bhakti. And this bhakti is self-manifesting for true. It will come on its own accord. But what we have to do through our sadhana, we have to make our heart fertile so that the seed of bhakti can be sown. And we should be in the association of Mahabhagavat devotees so that they can sow the seed of heart, sow the seed of devotion in our heart. So with this, he completed the first shower of Madhurya Kadambini, which is the super excellence of bhakti, preeminence of bhakti, and the super excellence of bhakti has been established in this first shower. So in this 5 sessions, we completed just the first shower of bhakti, where the bhakti has been established as self-dependent, independent. Okay? Now in the next shower onwards, we will go from the process of performing, like how the sadhana bhakti has to be performed, how the bhakti goes from shraddha to sadhu sangha, to bhajana kriya, to anartha nivritti, to prema. So now the rest of the 6 showers will describe step by step all these different processes. How we have to have Shraddha. What is the meaning of Shraddha? How to have that Shraddha. How that Shraddha goes to Bhajana Kriya and to Sadhu Sangha and finally to Anartha Nivritti. And then moving forward to Prema. So rest of the showers will be describing that. So we'll stop here. Thank you all so much. I know I took 20 minutes extra, but I want to complete this shower and don't want to get it prolonged for further weeks. Thank you for your association. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai, Madhurya Kadambini ki jai. Yes, Preeti Vilas.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very, very wonderful class. Very nicely described about
this. Was making some sense.
Hare Krishna.
I'm saying I don't know whether I was making some sense.
Yes, absolutely, Mataji. It was very, very wonderful. That's what I'm saying. Very, very nicely it was understandable, like how this Anyabhlashita Shunyam Shloka, you have given very nice meaning for that, and how bhakti is independent and only the jnana karma and whatever it is, it has to follow bhakti. And when one follows bhakti, then mukti is waiting for the devotee to take him, and the devotee he doesn't want even mukti also. That explanation was really so wonderful, Mataji. Thank you so much. And as usual, we'll open the forum for discussion. And yes, here Preeti Vilasini Mataji goes, and we can again relish this Vaikuntha discussion. Please, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I love the class, Mataji. It was so nice about the different kinds of jnanis. Very clearly, I was thinking there are only 3. I forgot the first one, but thank you so much for putting it on a slide so we can always save it and remember it. So the 4 kinds of jnanis, and then the karmis and the yogis. And from that, what I am understanding, tell me if this understanding is right or wrong. It appeared to me that the yogis had the best chance. Of course, bhaktas are topmost. But from this discussion, in this section of Madhurya Kadambini, it appears to me that the yogis had the best chance, and then the karmis, and last the jnanis. Is that understanding wrong or right? I don't know. I'm just asking you to throw some light on it. If Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
If they have bhakti in it.
Yeah. If they have bhakti in it.
Yeah, in that case, yes, yogis do have, because jnanis, even if they have bhakti, they will only reach up to the level of Brahman Jyoti, provided if they are in the association of Maha Bhagavat. Then yes, they can be like Sukadev Goswami, who is a Maha Bhagavat.
And then Krishna again says in Bhagavad Gita, among the 4 jnanis, the best. So then they also have a chance. Yeah. And I was also thinking karmi also, all of us to a great extent, we are karmis in the sense that we are trying to add Krishna. That's what we're doing in our life. We're the second style of this one. Yeah, so that's what we are. So we also have a decent chance.
Of course, we do have that, because we are doing our prescribed duties as per our Varnashrama system, also keeping Krishna in the center.
Yeah.
So Krishna says, you will come, Madham, you will achieve my dham.
So I'm very curious about the yogis. So the yogis, they are doing different kinds of, but though they have Krishna sometimes included in their bhajan, meaning like when, in their sadhana rather, when they are doing this hatha yoga process or something, they're trying to, though bhakti is an integral part, eventually they are also taught to relinquish those forms, right? So then how is it that they have a good chance? Will they come back to understanding the greatness of the form of Krishna? What will really happen? Because that's what they do, right? No?
Yogis, just like 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, right, that if somebody, he mentions, right, fall down from a practice, a long-term practice, and practice. So yes, in that case, they will come in the aristocratic family, they will get a chance to perform bhakti. And if it is a long-term process, then they will come back in a house of a devotee family, as Prabhupada mentions about himself.
Yeah.
But otherwise, see, yogi, if we are doing all those
yoga.
Ashtanga yoga, right? If we are doing that process, but we are doing it only to maintain our body fit, if that is the reason of performing those Ashtanga yoga, then definitely it will not yield any results. But if it is when we restrict our senses and we do it for Krishna, where the samadhi, dhyana and samadhi, that two terms, if they are there, then
For
yes,
Krishna. Super
yes,
soul.
for Supreme Personality, for Paramatma, then yes, these can of course achieve.
Wow, very nice.
But
Yeah.
Krishna says that among all those yogis, the best is who consider me as the object.
Correct. Yeah, very nice, Mataji. This was really mind-boggling in one sense, but it is why it's mind-boggling is because we are seeing people around. I mean, in the world, there are so many paths that they have taken. Somehow, we have gotten the best in a very easy way, very easy way. I don't know how much I'm valuing it, but actually, we are very fortunate. Many yogis and karmis and jnanis, they might have to take so many births and they are okay with it. They are thinking, oh yeah, it'll take at least 20 lifetimes to perfect. I'm fine. In the next birth, I will continue. That kind of mindset when we see many people say, who are trying to aim for liberation, I'm saying. And then we have this particular process which is given in our hand like in a golden platter. It's just given directly, right? Just take like somebody came and gave you a plate full of prasadam. So it just directly came to our hand and we just have to eat it. And that also we are not doing properly.
Still, if you don't follow it and don't appreciate it or not be grateful to it, then definitely.
Very nice, Mataji. Yeah, thank you so much. This is really giving a lot of insights, and I think really the series is helping a lot for me also to strengthen my practices and my faith in Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Preeti Vilasini Mataji. So shortly the discussion has ended, Mataji. Do you have any more to ask?
No, I was only throwing reflections. I didn't have any questions actually. Yeah, but thank you, Mataji.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Parima Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I just had this one thing. Those who aim for liberation, Mataji, even if you aim for liberation, you still have to go through bhakti, right? Because without bhakti, they can never get liberated. And those who, so, I mean, I have read many places that, they take the breath all the way to the fontanel, matlab, up to the Brahma, and then they leave their bodies. What happens to those people? I mean, of course, we don't know if they did bhakti internally or if they do Paramatman bhakti. Matlab, if they believe in Paramatma, they may not believe in, the Krishna as a deity, but they believe in Paramatma and love for Paramatma. Do they then do they attain mukti?
They land up, as far as I remember, I cannot give you the reference right now, but maybe Preeti Vilasini Mataji can correct me. But what I heard is that they land up in Janaloka, Mahaloka, Tapaloka.
Acha. And then they have to come back again to finish it. And there are, as who mentioned, I don't know, somebody mentioned it now that, they do some kind of sadhana that takes like 3 lifetimes or 4 lifetimes to finish. And then they take birth again.
There is no description of a number of lifetimes, but they come back, they have to follow this process of bhakti and then only they can go.
But this one thing is definitely, Mataji, aren't they above the ordinary souls? Like,
Of course they are. Of course they are. Right?
okay.
Of course they are above all those materialistic people. But those materialistic people who doesn't know about bhakti, who don't perform bhakti, they are above them. Definitely they are above them. But because these people who are above these materialistic people, so-called, yes, looks like that they are above, but because they are not practicing Krishna bhakti, they are not performing any service to the Lord, their actions are fruitless. They may land up in some higher planetary system, but after all, up till Brahmaloka, everything is in material universe. So there is no question of getting liberated.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just going to some higher story building. So what?
Okay. So, but they, at least they don't like, the chances of them falling down is not there, right? They may again attain a good birth and, continue. Yeah.
They achieve good birth. That's what I was telling in Bhagavad Gita also it says. When somebody does it for the long practice, then they take birth in a devotee family. And those who take for the short time, if they are performing these activities and they leave their body, they take in a big aristocratic family. But Prabhupada mentions that they are given the chance to perform bhakti. Like the environment becomes conducive. Aristocratic family, there is no tension of money, there is no as such things, but still that free will, that free independence is still there in that jiva to take up the process or not.
Okay.
Like we see those who are, they are really great soul if they take birth in a devotee family. But
Yes.
still we see that even in the
Yes.
devotee family, the devotee children are not devotees.
Yes.
Right. So this is the tinge of free will that is still given to the jiva. So it's not like 100% black and white, but yes, the environment.
But they might be retaining their past life sanskaras, right, Mataji?
Of course, they are. They will be retaining, but again, because of that free will, they may spoil everything. And they incur more karmas, more sinful reactions. You never know. Chakra, it's a big chakra, Mataji.
Yeah, that's true. There's no short way, but yeah.
No short way. No short way to Krishna consciousness. No, not at all.
Okay, Mataji, thank you so much. Thank you for the clarification. Mataji, what was the first kind of Jnani you said? I mean, even I forgot that.
First type of Jnanis are those Jnanis who perform their Jnani yoga, but they don't have bhakti. So they are ati nindit.
Okay, all right. Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Parima Mataji. Prahaladanand Prabhu, I think he raised hands. Prahaladanand Prabhu.
Beautiful words. Thank you,
Thank you, thank you, Mataji. This Kadambini is actually really enlightening kind of showers Vishwanath Chakravarti is giving us. Do we have time, Mataji? Because if you have, then and I wanted to ask, because we know that we are all conditioned souls at the current moment, but it says that Jivera Swarup hai Nitya Krishna. So we are originally Lord Krishna's Nitya Das, right? And when we desire separately, we fall into the material clutches. And Brahmaji endows us with 5 kinds of ignorance, like, Dehatma Buddhi, then Raga Dves, then Abhinives and all that, right? So we come to that stage. But it also says Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhya Kabunai. So inbuilt, there is still bhakti in our heart, even if we are conditioned.
No, Bhakti is not there. When we are vimukh of Krishna, when we are bahirmukh of Krishna, then nikate maya jhapeti. Right. Immediately takes the jiva into her clutches. So then the conditioned soul is back in this Brahmanda. But Brahmanda Bhramite, if he is Bhagyavan, that remember a few slides we see that good fortune. So nothing is actually the cause of bhakti. The only thing that can bring, not bring bhakti, because bhakti itself is self-manifesting, but only thing that can become the door to bhakti is sadhu sangha. So when that conditioned soul comes in contact with the pure devotee and the heart becomes fertile, then there are chances for the bhakti to manifest. But initially, when we are against Krishna, we have turned our face against Krishna, then there is no bhakti.
Oh, I see. This principle of, because I was analyzing my own life, I understood when I was initiated back in 1984 by His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami. There's a time my mother was present. And my mother said that when this boy was inside, I read Bhagavatam in Gujarati, of course. She read like that. And then I realized that, I have come to this stage, but why did I turn away from bhakti afterwards? Because of influenced by modern science and going to med school and all that.
Those impressions were still there. Because in the womb, if somebody hears Bhagavatam, it's such a good thing. It's such a fortunate thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but when I grew up and all that,
helped you to come in contact with the pure devotee.
I see. Okay, yeah, that's how I.
Us come in contact with the pure devotee, and then when we come in the contact of pure devotee, our heart becomes fertile and we are ready to accept that bhakti. But again, bhakti will manifest or not manifest. That is again her supreme will. So she.
This is so fascinating. Because, I was brought up like this. And then when I went to med school, the first lecture of physiology, it says, even if you can refer to the textbook, it says that there is nothing supernatural about the human life. Everything is like physiochemical like that. That's what they were explaining. And I was confused. I said, how come they are speaking like this? And there was no one to support me that, really is bhakti like that until I read Prabhupada's book. One article I read in Back to Godhead when I was 26 there. And I said, this man makes so much sense to me. Then I kicked out all this, my prejudice against bhakti and all that like that. So thank you very much, and this, since I joined all these courses, I'm getting so much enlightenment. I'm so thankful to all your mothers, Prabhupada used to say that these white people, they are my fathers who have come to help me. Similarly, I feel that all you mothers, they give me so much kind of enlightenment. I'm so fortunate.
All because of you, like you are so advanced in your spiritual life.
I'm not mother. I've got so many things to learn yet.
I know that. And you have joined this Bhakti Shastri course, which I'm so feeling so embarrassed now. Probably one who will be teaching us, not as a student, but as a teacher, you should join now.
No. I don't feel that way, mother. I learned so much, and I feel, because now I'm retired, almost 70 there like that. And I have got a lot of time to go through all these lectures and compile all these PPTs and everything. We also do a lot of satsang every morning. Every 5 days a week, we do local satsang here on Zoom. And that's how we enrich our, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam like that. That's how. But I'm so thankful that, you are teaching us Kadambini. That's so nice. Thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Dandavad Pranams.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prahlad and Prabhuji, for sharing your realizations. So Mataji, I don't find any more hand raised, but everyone has praised about the class, so I should read this especially from Suvi Ravi Mataji.
It's okay.
Mataji, Mataji, only this, if you allow me. So Mataji is saying, you said length and breadth and depth of bhakti can't be known. But Mataji, the depth of your knowledge leaves me spellbound. So many angles, varieties of ways, quotes from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita to support the superiority of bhakti. Dandavad Pranams, Mataji. Thank you so much.
This is all by Vishwanath Chakravarti Path. So it's not my knowledge. He has given everything ready in that fruit platter, and I'm just presenting it as it is. So nothing belongs to me. It's all by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And I really like what Preeti Vilasni Mataji said, that performing service with our body and our words is an important function, an essential function to purify the heart. But essentially what the Lord accepts is attitude.
The attitude. Yeah. So I was about to read that and end the call. Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading that also. So this quote was given by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear devotees. So Mataji, with your permission, can we end the call here?
We'll end up, and next week, Krishna willing, we'll start with our next shower of Madhurya Kadambini. Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatrupasya kripa sindhu pevacha patetanam pavanabhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Her grace Kirtida Sundari Mataji ki jai.
Jai.
Madhurya Kadambini ki jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam. Very nice class, Mataji.
Thank you, Yashomati Mataji.
Always as usual. I'm so fab.
Thank you so much, dear devotees. Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much.